Hello friends, please let us look at the question on the board. How are atoms, elements, compounds and mixtures related? How are atoms, elements, compounds and mixtures related? In trying to answer this question, it may be a nice idea to use an example of a mixture for illustration. And that mixture being used as an example, we will have to break down into layers, down to the smallest, from mixture to the compounds, elements, and atoms. A mixture I would like us to use as an example here is salt solution. Salt solution is a mixture that is made up of two substances, table salt and water, that are combined through a physical process. Salt solution can be broken down through a physical process into its components, table salt and water. The chemical name for table salt is sodium chloride, and the formula is NaCl. Na stands for sodium and Cl stands for chlorine. The chemical formula for water is H2O. H stands for hydrogen and O stands for oxygen. Now, the sodium chloride, NaCl, can be broken down through a chemical process into sodium and chlorine. Water, H2O, can be broken down through a chemical process into hydrogen and oxygen. Sodium cannot be divided through any chemical process into any other substances. Chlorine cannot be divided through any chemical process into any other substances. Hydrogen cannot be divided into any other substances through any chemical process. And oxygen cannot be divided into any other substances through any chemical process. Sodium is made up of smallest indivisible particles known as atoms of sodium. Chlorine is made up of smallest indivisible particles known as atoms of chlorine. Hydrogen is made up of smallest indivisible particles known as atoms of hydrogen. And oxygen is made up of smallest indivisible particles known as atoms of oxygen. Atoms of the same kind make up sodium. So because of that, sodium is an element. Atoms of the same kind make up chlorine. Because of that, chlorine is an element. Atoms of the same kind make up hydrogen. Hydrogen, because of that, hydrogen is an element. And atoms of the same kind make up oxygen. And because of that, oxygen is an element. Now, what is an atom? What is an element? An atom is the smallest indivisible particle of an element. Atoms are the building blocks of substances. You can see this is like a pyramid, and at the base you have atoms. So atoms are the building blocks of salt solution. Atoms of the same kind form an element. And when you have two or more elements that are combined through a chemical process, a compound is formed. So two elements, sodium and chlorine, when they combine through a chemical process, a compound, sodium chloride, is formed. Hydrogen and oxygen, when they combine through a chemical process, water is formed. So what is a compound? A compound is a substance formed when two or more elements combine through a chemical process. For the compound, sodium chloride, only two elements, sodium and chlorine, are required. For the compound, water, only the elements, hydrogen and oxygen, are required. When the substances, sodium chloride and water, combine through a physical process, salt solution is formed. and salt solution is a mixture. In summary, atoms make up elements, elements make up compounds, and compounds make up mixtures. Now, looking at this diagram, we can see that the substances that make up this mixture, salt solution, are compounds. The formation of mixture is not limited to compounds. There are situations when you have a mixture containing elements, like when you have element iron combined with another element carbon through a physical process. Steel is the product of a combination of iron and carbon through a physical process. Some mixtures can be made from combining elements and compounds through a physical process, like combining iron filings and sand. Please like, share, and subscribe. For online tuition, kindly reach me using this number +965 949 443 77. Thank you and have a nice day.